It's just straight up too expensive to live in the United States of America, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Immediately moved in, and I said to Jazz, I was like, oh, like this, the house, like, we really got to be careful financially. Like, we got to build back up. It's a lot. You got to invest in a house, and
Life has gotten so expensive that it's not even worth trying to be frugal anymore. There's no point.
What's up, Financial Hawks? It's your man Eric, and in today's video, we're going to be going over some more hidden costs of living.
But I fucking hate that phrase, cost of living crisis, right? The cost of living. It's the living that's the problem, right? Like somehow it's our fault for being alive. The arrogance of it all, right? Personally, I thought it was because corporate greed had manifested itself into basic human rights like shelter, electricity, and warmth. But no, it's all the fucking living I've been enjoying. That's the issue. But if I could just not be alive, that'd be great. That'd be so convenient. Actually, I'm thinking about dying for the winter. I think that's my vibe. No, the guy, I get worried about this stuff, right? And the guy I got high with, he was like, dude, man, you gotta relax. You just gotta live a little. It's like, in this economy, I can't afford to be living right now. But it's weird. I mean, I don't know. Were you guys alive a few years ago? I don't know. I remember being alive a few years ago. I was sitting there and I was like, man, this is so affordable right now. They're practically giving this shit away for free. It's great. It's tough. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm hoping to move house, actually. My friend was like, oh, you going to rent? And I said, no, I'm looking to die. Actually, I'm looking to die at the moment. My mother said she'd help me out, so I actually might be able to die sooner than I thought I would. That's good. Once you get out of the city, the coffins, they're just so much more affordable. The fresh air, it's good. It's nice for the kids. They enjoy it. It's too dark. That one was a bit too dark.
Yeah, so this dude definitely got me rolling on this one. The living is the crazy part. The cost of the living. Yeah, unfortunately, we're at the point now where you could literally just, to talk about that all day. I could make a channel, probably just me doing comedy, talking about the cost of living. I'll probably get millions of views because everybody understands what's kind of going on right now. And it's crazy. Just a few years ago, just the difference. Again, I think it's like that post-COVID, pre-COVID, you could do a lot making $15 an hour. Man, good luck doing a lot. Good luck doing a lot with just 25, 30, especially if you got student loans and other, debt. It can definitely be crazy out here. So it was good to see like the jokes, being able to laugh about it. But yeah, people are able to laugh about it because there's a lot of bull crap going on. It's been going on for the last few years. Again, I feel like really that post-COVID, that's like it was a big shoot up, and then it's just like a big, huge. So maybe we can make some videos talking about that too. But it's post-COVID has been crazy for the economy.
I'm talking about how serious the cost of living actually is. So we pay like a really cheap amount of rent compared to like all the other rent I see. And we're a family of 6. We pay $9.50 rent. That's cheap. We're in Missouri. It's like not some nice new place or anything. It was actually built in 1890. My husband is working 3 jobs right now. We buy absolutely nothing that we don't need. And we actually go without a lot of things that we actually do need. I feel like if you're able to do anything that's not just surviving, then you got it good. I feel so sad that I didn't appreciate the times where we were able to actually have fun at this point. So much has changed in the past few years. Like, what? I just really, really want to know. How is everyone surviving? Is everyone working like 24/7? Because that's what my husband does. And I'm just home with my little kids all the time. It's kind of like depressing that we're never together as a family. So I don't know. I hope one day we can be, but it sucks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this video probably has a ton of views because I know a lot of people could definitely, feel what she's going through right now. Because again, it's kind of like that right now for, again, a lot of people. I would say like the majority of people, at least they feel it some type of way right now. But yeah, it definitely sucks because again, she talked about a few years ago, she didn't even most people didn't realize post COVID, I guess no one knew that 2020 was going to happen. But if you were living, I guess, during that time, I guess maybe if you're 4 years old and you're watching this video, hey, that's good that you're already, being financially cautious or conscious right now. I'm pretty sure when you turn 20, you'll be freaking trillionaire. But for everybody else who has been, an adult post-COVID and living in the world and now seeing how it is or I mean pre-COVID, but now you're in the world post-COVID. Yeah, definitely different. It definitely changed for sure. That definitely sucks. I don't know exactly what type of job he's doing, but it's like he's working all the time, like 24 hours. Yeah, a lot of people have to do that. What I would recommend for her husband, again, I don't know what type of job he does, but I would see if there's any type of way to like either upskill so that he can get to a higher position in that job. And maybe it may not be at that company, but it could be other companies adjacent to that he could go to make a little extra money. That's good that she's making content. Hopefully she can continue making content as well. And again, posting it on multiple platforms so that you have a higher chance of making money. And then, like those two things can, hopefully allow you to pay at least a bill or two. I'm trying to think of like a third option that they could do without actually knowing what type of job he currently does, but he may be able to upskill himself to like another whole type of job career in general. Again, I don't know what he's currently doing. I don't know what type of skill set he has, but if he can find a way to implement AI into it in some type of fashion or way, that can be great as well, especially with everything going more towards that. I'm going to make some more videos talking about that, how AI is becoming more integrated in society and how it will become a point where we're just not utilizing AI, but AI will be like using us in a sense in like next, I'll say maybe 3 to 5 years. They're going to be a great video, by the way. I was doing some good research on that. So definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, I would definitely continue making videos like you're doing. I don't know how old your kids are. You could make some kid content as well. Maybe people might want to see that. Maybe you are already doing that. I haven't seen her page yet, but at least he's making some type of content. That could be, again, one way you can make some extra money. And your husband, if he can try to find some type of way to upskill himself to make a little extra money, that may, again, be able to help out at least with a couple bills.
But have you ever thought about the hidden costs? First, there's the financial strain. Those small, unnecessary purchases that you make, they add up fast. Many people put them on credit cards and then pay interest on things they didn't even need in the first place. Then there's clutter. More stuff means more to store, clean, and manage. And let's be honest, clutter doesn't just take up space, it takes a toll on your peace of mind, which leads to time lost to maintenance. Everything you buy demands your time, whether it's cleaning it, organizing, or repairing it. That time you could have spent resting, creating, or just enjoying life. And let's not forget the environmental impact. Every product that you buy takes energy and resources to make, ship, and eventually toss into the landfill. So next time you feel tempted to buy something on impulse, pause for a second. Think about the time, energy, money, and the planet. Is this really adding value to your life or just more to carry?
Okay, so yes, we'll definitely talk about some good, important things, on this video. But the main thing I got from this was the interest rates, and I think that's something that a lot of people are not talking about. Because yes, things have increased in price, but we haven't, or I guess a lot of people just don't talk about the interest part. That's also been increasing, and that's across the board. You got higher interest rates. And like cars, like if you're trying to buy a car, you got higher interest rates in houses, you got higher interest rates in credit cards, you got higher interest rates in this, higher interest rates in that. So yeah, that's another, I guess, reason a lot of people are going to continue to be in debt because again, their interest rates have increased by so much. And you know what? Some things I'm sure has decreased slightly, but the interest rates increase. So you may think that you're getting a deal, but in actuality, you're paying more, overall. And, if you're putting that on a credit card, like you mentioned, it's just going to continue increasing monthly. Before you know it, that little $50 purchase that wasn't necessary, you end up spending like $150, $200 on that little thing. So, something to think about, that interest rates have increased. I'm going to do a whole video talking about the increase of that and how things that were atrocious, at least like 2-3 years ago, are like the normal now in terms of interest rates. It's crazy.
Just a little bit of background. My husband has a lot of construction knowledge. So does my father-in-law. He's worked in it all his life. I'm an insurance agent, so I do know a little bit about construction or how things should be. So when we went looking for a house, we were pretty confident and we were able to point out a lot of things that we didn't want or a lot of things that could potentially be a problem down the line, but we couldn't see everything. We had a home inspector. They checked everything out. Everything checked out well. Of course, there were a couple of things here and there that needed to be done, but they were addressed. But the things that we have already replaced in this house has been insane. If I had to guess, and I haven't totaled it up, it's probably close to $5,000 that we put into this house. And I'm talking about a house that has a brand new roof, brand new siding, brand new interior. There was an addition added on. So everything was replaced in 2024 or in 2025. We've had to replace the air pump that's only a year old because all of these things that they replaced in this house were like Menards brands. We had to replace a lot of the piping. We had a plumber come out, and there were a lot of things that were really not up to code, things that would be a big headache down the line. So we replaced them. Also had to fix the furnace, again, 2 years old. And then we realized that there's a lot of things wrong with the gutters, no downspouts in areas where there should be downspouts. And let me show you something. Literally getting the gutters fixed right now. But the whole point to me making this video is just to raise awareness that no matter how good the house is, how remodeled, how pretty it is, there could be things wrong with it, and pretty costly things at that. And we knew that this was going to happen. We just didn't know the extent that it was going to happen to. And if we were not prepared, having more savings besides, whatever the closing costs were going to be, because yes, it was a hefty amount and it was a large chunk of our savings, but we still needed more savings to back it up because we knew things like this were going to happen. It is something that's really important that you have to think about before purchasing a house, because this could have easily sent us into debt.
Yeah, nothing but facts, nothing but facts, nothing but facts. Yeah, I experienced this myself too. Like even when I got my house, when you get the inspectors, they expect X, Y, Z, and like that even though you spend so much money on that, and that did help out too other houses because you find different things that you weren't aware of that they're like that the inspectors find. So yeah, you spending those hundreds of dollars on that can help out because you may spend 100, but it's saving you thousands upon thousands. So yeah, it has helped out, but again, it doesn't necessarily catch everything, and like new things pop up too. So yeah, like stuff popping up when you get a place, man, that is crazy how unfortunately normal I guess that is, but I guess a lot of people just don't realize the different costs that may spring from that. So if they spending all their money to make that jump to this XYZ house, and then you end up having to spend another 10, 20, $30,000. Yeah, now you're really in debt now, versus a $2,000, $3,000 change. So yeah, I would, if you are thinking about getting a place soon and you don't already have like a home and like already experienced like the different crazy stuff that can happen like with water and different things of that nature, I will look at YouTube videos like this. So you're talking about the piping that was kind of off, and a few other things I kind of forgot exactly what was wrong with that house. But look at videos like that and kind of just be aware so that when you're reviewing homes, you can pay attention to that, on top of also getting your inspector and whatnot. Hey, you can even add Chat GPT as well on different things that you should look at a place that the home inspector may not check. Maybe look at the history, maybe find some way to look at older pictures of the place, maybe just surrounding properties as well. That can also probably, help you out a little bit as well. But yeah, there's definitely a whole lot of hidden costs of owning a home that people don't talk about or people not aware of until they're actually paying for the house. You just living there, like you being a kid living in the house, you're not seeing all of it, but you paying, you see it.
The States of America, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Hi, I'm Zach. I've kept a budget down to the penny for the past 5 years, and this is what I've spent this month on some of the things that you need to just exist. Let's start with energy. I want you to let me know how much you pay a month for your electric bill. All right, ready? Drum roll, please. This month I spent $242. It's summertime in Florida. It's hot. It's expensive. The AC is running. I keep my house at 78 degrees during the day. I turn off all the lights when I'm not using them. I have LED lights, all of the stuff you're supposed to do. I'm closing my blinds during the day, everything possibly you could do right. And I just had my highest bill of all time. Checking out my electric bill from September 2020, I paid $139.47. Okay, so that's almost doubled. All right, how about utilities? I want you to let me know how much you pay for utilities a month, your water bill, your garbage. All right, drum roll, please. 3, 2, 1. I paid $219.77. Just as a frame of reference, in September of 2020, my water bill was $128.09. So that's doubled in 5 years. That's cool. Internet. Everybody loves internet. I needed to post on TikTok. This past month, I spent $84.99. What did you spend this month on the internet? I can tell you what I paid September 2020, 5 years ago. I paid $54.68. That's cool. It's gone up 60%-ish in 5 years. That's fine. So all in all, between my utilities, my energy, and my internet, I am paying $527 and change a month. And I'm sure my story isn't unique. I'm sure you're watching this saying, yes, the same thing with me. I'm paying way too much every month. This isn't sustainable. I know that prices have gone up all around the world, 100%. I just feel like where I live specifically, we've gone into crazy town. No one can pay this. No one can afford this. I'd love to hear what you're paying a month for all these things and where you live in the world, because I need to know if I'm crazy or if I'm not alone in feeling this way.
Yeah, some of those prices were definitely wild. So the first one he's talking about was energy. I think he's saying he's paying what, like $400 or $500 a month on that. Yeah, that is up there. I guess though, dang, I guess, man, I guess depending on what type of plan you get, even in Texas, I guess it could go up there. And on this video too, he didn't talk about like if he's like single or like he has like a spouse or other people in the house. I'm assuming he's just by himself. So we're gonna base it on like prices for that. And yeah, I've definitely noticed a difference too, like living by yourself versus living with other people, like the difference in prices. But man, that's crazy by yourself. 500 something. That's a lot. That's a lot for electric. And then 200 something for water by yourself. Man, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. I know for myself, like I will say about like 2, 3 years ago. Yeah, like 2 years ago, really. 2 years plus maybe my energy bill, maybe 50, 60 at that, super low. Cause usually like if it get like if I'm usually tracking it, and if I'm seeing that it looks like it's going too high, looking like it's going like above 1,000 kilowatts, usually I can just like turn off my AC or turn off my heater and kind of just vibe, with the naturalness. But now I think it's definitely in the hundreds, definitely in the hundreds. I don't think it's 500 every single month, but it's up there now. But again, that's from being like alone versus like living with other people. So, I mean, I get that makes more sense versus him living by himself and still living by himself in 5 years and paying that high increase. The other one he's talking about water. Yeah, that's wild too for that to dang near double. I've never paid anywhere near $200 outside of like a water leak or something like that happens. And yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like over there, wherever he living, they're paying or they're charging a ton for water. I could be wrong. God, let me know if you've been paying 200 plus, 300 plus for water. But when I used to live by myself, again, $50 maybe for water max. Now that I'm not living by myself, maybe 80. So water didn't really go up that much. It's mainly electric that went up. Now he talked about the internet, him going from like $54 to 80. Now that one, now that's a big difference. That's one of the ones that I don't mind increasing. I know mine is over $100, but I have very fast internet, like over a gigabyte. I believe over a gigabyte or over, yeah, I think it was 1 gigabyte. I don't think it's 1 terabyte. It's like one on the higher ends, like one of the top ones, which makes sense since I do a lot of content. I can work from home as well, streaming and services and the, game connecting to Wi-Fi and all that. It's like fast. Like we don't have to worry about anything. I can have a party. Everybody can be on their phones. There won't be no, there won't be no slowdown. So I don't mind paying extra for internet. But yeah, I think he had the basic plan paying 50 something dollars and that going up to 80, 60% increase. Yeah, that is crazy because I doubt he's getting an increase in speed. They're just increasing the amount of money that he has to pay. I doubt he's getting like a huge or any type of increase in speed. It's just, hey, we're just going to charge you more just because, even though it's not costing them anything to at least increase speed a little bit. But I definitely want to hear in the comments, what type of internet bills, water bills, etc. are you currently paying and versus like a few years ago, and kind of just seeing the difference. And I guess depending like how old you are, if you've like been out, like if you've been, living by yourself or living as an adult, like, for a decade plus prior to COVID, I'm intrigued to see your thought. Like how much have things been pre-COVID, back in 2005? How much did your electric cost? How much did your energy cost? How much did your like water cost in 2005 versus 2025? That's what I want to see now. Because again, a lot of us are like younger, 20s and 30s. But I want to hear somebody who's like 40s and 50s. Like, have you seen a big increase, or were you even paying attention to that increase? I'm definitely intrigued on that. But yeah, guys, anyways, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.